They'd have to leave the city to find work. No one would hire them here, which is why the 2 remaining assassins now circled him. Daggers in hand, he waited, his pulse quick but steady. The first rushed in, letting anger over his fallen friends cloud his judgment. Ezra kicked him square in the stomach, his reach exceeding that of the man's blades. The attacker nearly dropped, lurching back, winded. In the time it took him to recover, Ezra appeared at his side, slicing up his femoral artery in a practiced swipe. The man collapsed, screaming. He turned on the remaining man. Ezra could only imagine at the state of his appearance, his face covered in the blood of the assassin's fallen comrade. To the boy's credit, he didn't run away or give in to fear or frustration. From his size and fighting style, he was clearly young, with all the potential in the world. That made it so much worse. He had a rule about killing children. Ezra granted him a quick death. Drawing his sword, he sliced the boy's head off. The body fell to the ground before the head rolled away. He cleaned his blades on the wet grass before tucking them away, keeping the sword at the ready in case there were more. But after a sweep of the property, he felt satisfied that tonight's batch of assassins had been dispatched. He dragged them out of sight of the house. The Lord had small ones who certainly didn't need to see such carnage. The rain would take care of the rest. The 2 killed with his bow were together. The one with the stomach wound had crawled to the other, dying next to him. He passed them and walked into the forest. The first to die, a woman by the size of her, had tripped the wire that let loose a swinging log covered in the spikes upon which she was now impaled. He brought her down and reset the trap. Close by, Ezra stepped carefully around the edges of a pit. It had been meant to capture, not kill, but it appeared as though the man had fallen wrong and snapped his neck. Pulling a length of rope from his coat that he kept for purposes such as these, Ezra lowered a noose around the man's ankle, yanked to tighten, and hoisted him up. Once all 6 bodies were on the edge of the property line, he made for the servants' entrance and knocked. At this time of night it would only be opened by one of the Lord's overpaid and underworked guards. The man cringed at the sight of him, but asked that he wait. Sir Pierce, the Lord's captain of arms, appeared minutes later. "None of our lookouts reported anything happening?" Pierce said, as more of a question than a statement. "They may not have seen anything," Ezra replied, "but the 6 corpses waiting on your pleasure would argue that something did, in fact, happen. Any word as to how much longer this is to carry on?" Sir Pierce's eyes narrowed, though not at Ezra. More likely his thoughts had turned to the less-than-watchful watch and their punishments. Ezra did not envy those guards. "I planned on waiting to tell you this morning, rightly so it seems, but now I no longer believe your services to be necessary. The traitor responsible for these attacks has been arrested and dragged to the castle last night to await trial," Sir Pierce said. "It's likely he had standing orders to make one last attempt in the event of his capture," Ezra mused. Sir Pierce nodded in agreement. "That is what I thought as well. That is why I waited to tell you. In any case, we are grateful for the work you have done. You have gone far beyond what we anticipated for you." He pulled a slip of paper from his jacket. "You are the first in your trade that I have ever paid with a bill of deposit. Most ask for gold. In any case, it is twice your remaining fee for your trouble." Ezra checked the amount. It had been signed and was just waiting for deposit at the treasury. "The way I see it," Ezra explained, "there's no point in carrying gold to the bank when I can simply do this." He folded the slip up, placing it in an inner pocket. "Please let me know if I can ever be of service in the future." "Let us hope that is not necessary, Mr. Toth," the old knight said. Ezra grinned at him before heading out into the rain. He had walked no more than a minute before doubling back towards the forest. It would seriously impede his chances of future work, or a referral at the very least, if a member of the Lord's household set off one of his many traps. 2. An unexpected detour. By the time he reached the capital,